First things first, please subscribe to our channel, leave a like on the video. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, please follow and leave a 5-star review. Thank you very much. Welcome to a good review from Block 5 with me, your host SJ. 9 points out of 9 Champions League. The boys now turning attention back to the Premier League, where we welcome Crystal Palace on Sunday at 2 p.m. In Crystal Palace, I've just seen, obviously I have my own views, but I like to listen to other people, and it's under the impression that we might have a tough time against Crystal Palace this Sunday. In my opinion, I know they went on an 18 game unbeaten run, but I'm more liking that akin to Unai Emery's unbeaten run back in 2018. You know, the nothing run. We had loads of draws, a couple of wins against some rubbish teams, etc. I mean, Palace in their unbeaten run updated the bio. They drew Sunderland at home. They drew Forest twice. They won a couple of games in the Conference League. I mean, that's not a difficult competition to win games in, as we know. They went unbeaten, but they weren't pulling up trees, beating the top teams. I know they beat Liverpool. Sorry, they did beat Liverpool in the league, gave them a torrid time. But who doesn't give Liverpool a torrid time these days? And they also beat City in the FA Cup final. I thought that was part of their 18-game unbeaten run on 19, whatever it is. But I mean, the games last season, they had Everett Eze, who we now have in our lineup. He's part of our Arsenal, pardon the pun. I do think just going forward, I just think we're gonna dominate Palace. I mean, I'm jumping the gun in terms of how I think the game's gonna go, but my prediction, I'll give it the end still. If I'm looking at previous results of Palace, last season we drew 2-2 with them at home, granted, but we were in the midst of a Champions League run. You know, we turned our attention to the Champions League. We'd pretty much given up on the league because Liverpool were pretty much clear. We couldn't catch them. So we focused on Champions League. We have Real Madrid, PSG around them times. So, I mean, even in that game 2-2, we start with a front three of Raheem Sterling on the right, Trossard down the middle, Martinelli on the left, Kivior centre back. It just wasn't our strongest team. I mean, granted, they didn't have Sarr or Mateta in their lineup that day, but look into the 2-2 with a pinch of salt, and I think on Sunday it'll be a complete different game. I mean, Palace themselves, I mentioned the Conference League. They do have a Conference League game tonight. We had our game 2 days ago, so we've got 48 hours extra rest. You know, it all adds up. I mean, they're lucky they got a home game if it's get AK Athens at home, so they're not having to do like a time zone travel, so that really does benefit them greatly. But still, nonetheless, they still have 2 days less rest. And when you're coming against top of the league, you want all the rest you can get, really. You know, they'll probably wish it was switched the other way around, that we had less rest time. But we're going to this weekend hoping that we can maintain our 3-point gap or even increase it. You know, because I think Man City have Aston Villa away. Not an easy game at all. I think they lost their last season 2-1. If I remember correctly, lost 2-1 there last season. And Villa find a bit of form. They beat the Scum last week, 2-1 away. Unai Emery owes us for a lot of stuff. And Liverpool, I think they're way to Brentford. Again, a tricky team. They love set pieces. Arne Slot, we know his head's in a spin from set pieces, especially long throws. And Brentford, they live and die by the long throw and corners. So we'll see how they will handle that come this weekend. I actually do think it's a chance to actually increase our gap. I do think that City will drop points against Villa. That's my prediction there. And Liverpool, I mean, it's not all rosy down it. And was it, Salah's being dropped for Champions League game? Is there a bit of a friction going on there in the background with Arne Slot, your highest paid player, signed new contract in the pre-season, getting dropped for a Champions League game when he's fit? Well, we'll see how that ends up. But in terms of us, how do I think we would line up for this game? I just think we're on a roll right now. Don't try and fix something that's not broken. Okay, we made some changes during the week Champions League, but we're able to do that, you know. We've got to remember we've got Brighton during the week, Carabao Cup, where we can make wholesale changes. Like some Norgard will come in, Wanera will get a game, MLS will get another game, Mosquera, Ben White, Kepa, probably start Trossard and Martinelli. Who else I miss? Yeah, I mean you get the drift. All Hincapié, all the players there that haven't got minutes recently, we can throw them in against Brighton and still field a strong team. So for me, I would field an unchanged 11 from against Fulham. I don't actually mind if we start Trossard or Martinelli. That's the only position where I'm erring. Um, but then again, if we're looking at the team in the most recent games, Eberechi Eze, I don't think he's suited to the right-hand side in that Odegaard role. Historically, he's played most of his games with Palace on the left-hand side, or being on left wing, or on the left eight position. And I think that I think he's just not really adapting to that side in particular. So it could be that we see with the injuries, Mikel Arteta's not really trusting Waneri at the moment to come in and do a job, which is a shame, you know, because I think he set up well last season in a time of need, him and MLS. So, I mean, Mikel Arteta must have seen something in training which lets him know that he's not ready to start Waneri. But it would be nice if we could get Eze back out on the left somehow, some way. Um, and I think that would benefit him and the team if we could do so. But for now, I'd play an unchanged team from Fulham. Again, like I said, it will either be Martinelli or Trossard. I mean, they're right back to Munoz, pretty pacey. I might start Martinelli because Martinelli will track back. I mean, they both track back. But I think Martinelli's pace could trouble him because I saw Semenyo last week in that 3-3 draw. His pace was giving Munoz quite a bit of trouble. And I think Martinelli is just slightly the better dribbler than Trossard in straight lines. So he could pose a bigger threat to Munoz than Trossard. But then again, you know, like I said, they're half and half players. They make one whole at the moment. So it could go either way. I mean, we've got the 5 subs. We can start one and then bring one on if it's not going well. In terms of match prediction, currently with that team I just mentioned, I do think that we will keep another clean sheet. I'm trying to think the day when I'm going to say we concede another goal. I made that mistake in Atletico Madrid and I apologized in my match review. We're just too dominant at the moment, you know. I'm going to go 2-0. I think we beat Crystal Palace 2-0. Again, I reserve the right to update that. And if I do update it, I usually put it on my TikTok or Instagram page, both. But it'll definitely be on TikTok if I do update my score prediction. I'll try and get it on Twitter as well. X. Sorry, Elon, don't sue me. But yeah, I mean, it's just a prediction. Just going back to Palace, they're danger men. We know Mateta's dangerous up front. Ismail Assar on the wing, another danger player. I mean, Mateta, he's been at Palace since he was 23. He looks like an old man. He carries himself like an old man, you know. He's still relatively young. I think he's 28 now. He just appears young. I think he had no hair when he came. And you just liken no hair with age. I mean, I got no hair on this hat, but I'm old. So, yeah, he's big and strong, but we got 2 brutes at the back, so big and strong ain't really gonna cut it, but you know, we have to be a bit more cute than that. I know he scored a goal last season, but again, I put that goal completely down to David Raya not giving an angle for Odegaard. Someone Raya does have brain farts, but he had one on Tuesday against Atletico Madrid coming out and start playing left wing back and not making enough of the clearance or not knowing the multi-ball system and not getting back and goal quick enough. It was a decent finish from Mateta last season. They'll try it again on Sunday. And Sarr, he's decent, very good dribbler, pacey. He's capable of giving Calafiore trouble on his day. And like last week, if we lose that ball in that space, which is open where Calafiori vacates when he goes on his runs or his little wanders, Sara is a player who could exploit that, especially with Munoz as well. Them two down that side, they may target that. That could be an area that Crystal Palace target as an area of weakness for us. And yeah, I mean, it's something to look out for. So I think the likes of Declan Rice has to be switched on to fill that gap. I mean, he usually is always he always is, and Big Gabby also just being aware down that side because I think that's a target. That's an area they will definitely try and target because their right side for me is their strongest side of their attack. Um, quite a target which was rubbish, but I think yeah, that side's better. If you play FPL, Munoz, um, he bags quite a few points, for your team if you got him. Adam Wharton, I don't know if Adam Wharton's back if he's fit. He's a player that's drawn a lot of attention from other clubs. Cultured left foot. I mean, yeah, I think he's a good player. When I take him at Arsenal, I'll take him in the squad. Probably give him instead of Norgard. For now, he's a Crystal Palace player. Um, but yeah, I just think we'll just swamp them. I think we'll swamp them. We'll start fast like we did against Atletico Madrid, and we'll just tighten our grip on that. I'm not gonna say it. It's too early. We're not tightening our grip on nothing. But I think we'll keep the momentum going, and I think that we'll get a win. 2-0 is my prediction. Let me know in the comments what you think. Yeah, I mean, I'll be back after the game with a match review. So until then, everyone have a blessed week, a nice weekend. Hopefully, we get the results we want like last season. Last weekend was perfect for us. Hopefully, we get the same this weekend. Well, it wasn't perfect because Man City didn't lose, but if City lose and City drop points, Liverpool drop points, that's a perfect weekend. And also if Tottenham lose, because that's always a perfect weekend as well. So yeah, until then, all the best.